Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. I can't tell you how many times recently I've had someone say to me, "What's wrong with me?" And I know I think it myself. This week's episode, I want to talk to you about dysregulation of your nervous system. You are not lazy. You may be, and probably well are, dysregulated. People don't wake up every day trying to go about everything and then one day just decide to stop trying. What happens is you don't suddenly become lazy. Your system gets overwhelmed. Your body starts shutting down, trying to protect you. And your energy shuts down before you even realize what is going on. That's where the thoughts come. What's wrong with me? Why can't I do anything? If you really analyze yourself, what am I procrastinating for? What is this avoidance that I have going on inside of me? This is your system, your central nervous system, dysregulated. And in this episode, I want to break down some real ways you can understand what's happening in your body, in your mind, in your energy and frequency, and give you some great tips of how to get out of it, how to uplift yourself, how to find yourself back in regulation, calm your nervous system down to find that focus and clarity that you're looking for. When the nervous system shuts down and you're overloaded, there are very, very clear signs for it. It looks like procrastination, brain fog. You know that scroll that we do on social media for hours and hours and hours? It's like having conversations or being with people and thinking that you're only doing it for 5 or 10 minutes and noticing 2 to 3 hours have gone by. This is feeling exhausted even after you're resting. You all know that feeling, right? Where you go to bed and you're really tired and you wake up in the morning and you're more tired than you went to bed with. This is a sign of your nervous system on high alert. This is called fight or flight mode. It's overwhelmed. There's too much going on inside of you and you have to find ways to bring it back to normalcy. It's a sign of your body saying to you, I cannot process any more right now. And if you continue to push through this and ignore it, your body will start to break down. This is where we develop autoimmune diseases, overwhelm, burnout, chronic fatigue. All of these things can be shifted and changed if you start to notice your nervous system and find a way to find peace and clarity within it. Most people don't even know what dysregulation feels like. You're probably sitting here listening going, what on earth is she talking about? How do I know if I'm dysregulated in my body? We tell ourselves that we're just failing, that things aren't working out, we're not good enough, we push harder, we try to do things and get so scattered we don't even know what's going on. Here's some of the ways that dysregulation looks like and shows up in your real life. You know you have to do things, but you just can't start them. Or the other side of the coin of you start 100 things and you do a little bit and then you get distracted and you start something else and you move on to another project and you get distracted and you start something else. And you start all these things, but you never really finish. You feel really tired, but you're so wired at the same time. The mind's on high alert, everything's running around. There's a million things going on up here in your head. But you just don't even know what to do with it. And you can't even take a moment to sit, relax, and calm yourself because the brain is telling you that, oh my God, I've got to do this and this has to happen. And if I don't do that, who else is going to do it? You also start to avoid messages or emails and making decisions. This is one that shows up and causes massive problems in your life. This is where our relationships start to break down, or we don't commit and follow up for certain business things and we lose opportunities because we're not facing it within ourselves. You start to overthink things, but you don't do anything about it. You just run them, recycle over and over again in the mind. This causes you stress, anxiety, and the fear builds up underneath. And one of the other final ways is you start to feel pressure building, but instead of acting on anything and doing anything about it, you freeze in place. And then we call it laziness. It is not being lazy. It's overload. It's overwhelm. Lots of people like to put labels on things, and now listening, you're probably going to say, yes, I'm like that. I have all these problems, but I have ADHD, or I am on the ASD spectrum, or I have this problem. Many people don't agree with me on this, and that's okay because that's your opinion. But honestly, for some people with ADHD and ASD traits, their nervous system that processes the world highly differently to the everyday normal person, which I don't feel there is one, and that's okay. They have things like higher sensitivity to stimulation, faster overwhelm, different or difficulty filtering information, different ways of processing things that come into their brain. And the great one that most people don't even realize is really strong emotional responses. Yes, they're all traits of these diagnoses and symptoms. But the thing a lot of people miss and they just dismiss is even without the diagnosis, the trauma or the label, suppressed emotions can create the exact same patterns. Everyone loves to go and say, I have this problem, because it gives you an excuse for not doing the inner work and identifying what's really going on underneath. Years of emotional build-up will cause massive dysregulation in the body. And if we don't face those emotions, deal with them, process them, understand them, and come to peace with them, your body starts to break down. And it saddens me because you start thinking there's something wrong with you. It comes from constant pressure to perform, having someone telling you how to show up, what to be. We see it in celebrities and sports people and people in high constant pressure situations where they're pushed by other people, break down, and then they want to run away and hide. We have to regulate our system. Feel safe to rest. There's nothing worse than having a day out and having rest and giving yourself peace and time, and someone complaining, oh, you're just being lazy, you're not doing enough. You can't just take a day out. Yes, you can. And you can also stop holding it together for everybody else and start prioritizing yourself. Because one day your body is going to say enough. And if you don't listen to it right now, let me tell you, it will start to break down. Most people avoid this information, but let me tell you, emotions do not disappear. They get stored in our body. And when they're unregulated or unprocessed and we don't find the understanding and acceptance of what happened to us, like every time you push something down or ignore how you feel, you keep going when you're already exhausted, or say yes when you mean no, you add pressure, you bottle down things, and eventually that pressure is going to show up, right? You all know how a pressure cooker works. You close the lid on it and you bubble it up and you cook and the steam builds up and all the pressure gets inside, and we have to release the valve. And if we don't release the valve, the lid blows off. Your body does that. And that pressure shows up in things like burnout, shutdown, anxiety, overwhelm, total disconnection. And all we do is label it laziness. It's not. It's actually unprocessed emotion reaching capacity. We all have a top of what we can take. When you shut down before you even realize it and you can't get up and keep going, and I know this intimately because the past week I've had a lot of energy coming at me and I feel this way. You start not to sleep, you start doing nothing, you avoid everything, but at the same time you're doing a lot and you're getting stuff done, but there's other things that are important that just can't get into the focus sphere. Your body will always try to protect you, and before you hit that full emotional overwhelm, it'll pull the handbrake. It will put a stop to what's going on, and we call that the freeze response. And that looks like nothing, doing nothing, avoiding everything, feeling numb or disconnected, walking around in a daze, not knowing what you're doing, losing motivation, feeling like a failure. It's actually your body protecting you. You cannot continue to push harder. You have to take time. You have to create space. And in that time and space, it doesn't have to take hours, days, or weeks. It can take 5-10 minutes a day. Concentrated effort, things like meditation, calming your mind, recentering yourself, going back within to find that inner peace. Sound healing, frequencies, all of these things can help you regulate your body. I have this beautiful new calming tool. It's a system called Calminity, which gives me frequency healing that I started listening to a few weeks ago. And the difference in how it shows up for me and the way that I turn up in the world is completely different. And I thought I sort of noticed it, but didn't really. And then my friends start telling me that, wow, you're so calm and you look so different. Even in this stress and overwhelm and worry about other things that are going on, these are some of my own worries because there's disruption in my world and it always happens. But the way I focus on it, the way I give myself space, the way I take time to regulate myself, this changes the way everything shows up for me. I used to be one of those people that just pushed harder, that would tell myself over and over again, I need to get my shit together. I have to do it more. I have to push harder. I'm being lazy. I used to add so much more pressure to myself, but pressure creates that shutdown. And I know I've been there. And I don't want anyone else to end up in these cycles of overwhelm and shutdown and guilt, of pushing harder and crashing again. Because you get into a loop, you get into a regulated cycle where you just do that. You push and push and push, and then you break down, and then you can't have a weekend or a week or a month where you don't do anything, and then you go back to push, push, push. But this does not get fixed with things like discipline. It has to fix with regulation. As someone who got so out of space with self that my body created symptoms and problems that I didn't even know they existed, anxiety and shutdown responses, I learned regulation for self in a fair few different ways. But one of the most simplest when we are in that complete overwhelm is this simple pattern. And whether it's quick or fast or slow, this is a body disruption. EFT tapping is the same sort of thing. And what it does is it changes your body from that fight or flight mode, that freeze or fawn. It gets you moving again, but in a safe way. And these are some things that you need to do for regulation. You have to reduce the input, turn down the noise, less scrolling, less time on screens, less overwhelm and less stimulation. And go within, get back into your body, Take a walk in nature. Meditate on the grass. Do some breathing exercises. Slow down your system. When overwhelm becomes so bad and you're looking at your whole day ahead and you sit there and criticize yourself because you need to get this done, you need to get that done, and it's all too much, find one simple thing and do that first. And give yourself credit when you complete that one simple thing. Because we don't ever really give ourselves enough credit for what we're doing in this life. And we need to acknowledge how great we are for those small steps. One step, not 10, not 20. One at a time. That may be getting up, having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, making some breakfast, making your bed, having a shower, taking some time to meditate, writing a list, getting the kids ready for school, going to work. One thing. And start making a safe, created space for you that is happy and healthy within yourself. Talk to yourself differently. Tell yourself how well you're doing. Acknowledge each step that you make and drop the pressure. We think pressure comes from outside. It doesn't. It comes all within from ourselves. We are hypercritical of self. Shut that itty bitty shitty committee up and tell it to get out of here. Be kind and generous and gentle to yourself and be truly honest about your capacity, because you don't have to run at full steam all the time. I want you to truly hear this truth. You are not lazy. You are carrying too much emotionally, mentally, energetically. Your body is not working against you. It's trying to protect you from breaking. Listen to it. Pay attention to the signs. Rest. Listen to your fatigue. When you learn how to support your system instead of fighting it, you will change everything. Meditation, EFT, breath work, yoga, relaxation. Most people don't even realize dysregulation can look like a cigarette outside. It's a real meditative process. I don't normally advocate smoking, but for those who do, it is a great way to calm your mind. Except most people go out there with stress and then they start overthinking and start talking to other people and running through their stresses in their mind. Use the quiet space to calm the nervous system. Find some frequencies or sound healing that will help you understand what you need. There are certain hertz frequencies that can make a huge difference. When I started listening to my community device, the first frequency sound I started with was 396 hertz, which is for the base chakra and for safety and security. Because I know that's where my problem started in my childhood and not feeling fully safe in the body. And then I moved straight to 528 hertz, which is the heart chakra. Calming the mind, listening to your heart, breathing. All of this will help you. All of this will get you into that sense of quietness, that reset. And then when you need to get moving again, because sometimes it can get a bit hard when you're really shut down in a good way and that complete calmness, to get moving, we have to get invigorated. You know, when you see a sports person and they start bouncing around and they get ready and do all of this to psych themselves up. After the calm down, you may have to boost your energy again and hype yourself up, get really excited and get moving in order to start your day. But you need to find a routine or a simple regulation that helps you stay on track. And it's different for everyone. There is no hard and fast rule of the way that you need to do it, but I strongly suggest creating a simple morning routine, a success route for yourself to set yourself up for success each day. And one of those things needs to include journaling or understanding and asking yourself, what am I thinking right now? What are the worries that I'm carrying? What is the important things that I need to do? All of this will help you get on track, stay on track, and really create the biggest success in your life that you can. And stop this overwhelm turning into burnout, this laziness turning into a breakdown. Nervous system regulation is something that takes time. It's going to take a couple of months to get it consistently back on track. But it's 5 or 10 minutes a day. It is not all day long. It's a couple of focus minutes for yourself. And quite frankly, you deserve it, don't you? I hope this has hit home for you. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And if you are in this state, stop pushing when your body is asking you to stop. Give yourself permission to pause, to rest, to reset. This is how we move out of survival mode. This is where you start to understand your patterns. And if you're struggling and you can't do it, this is what coaching is all about. Helping you find these patterns, setting up your success routine, giving you practical guidance and clear steps for you to take specific to yourself. You honestly don't need more pressure. You do need more support, and you need to understand what is working with your body. And do it before your body breaks down on you or you have that nervous breakdown. That's what a nervous breakdown is. Total dysregulation of your central nervous system from overwhelm and emotional chaos. Find peace, find calmness, and find home in yourself. Because you are the most important person in this world. No one else. And if you don't start taking care of you, who's going to? Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.